A lot of people, including myself, would love to see a fight between Devin Haney, the undisputed lightweight champion of the world, against the former unified champion Lomachenko, Vasyl Lomachenko. Um, and honestly, it's a fight that I would be willing to pay money for if it were on pay per view. Not gonna lie, if they put this fight on pay per view, I'd buy it. Would I be mad? Honestly, no, because in my opinion, it's that big of a fight that it is a pay per view fight, in my opinion. But according to Bob Arum, the promoter of both fighters, Mr. Bob Arum, man, still kicking it at 90 plus years old. Um, you know, he doesn't want this fight on pay per view, uh, which is surprising. If you read an article from a boxing scene, which is what you guys are currently looking at right now, so you guys can tell by the headline, Bob Arum hopes to televise Haney Lomachenko on ESPN, not on pay per view. That's actually surprising coming from Bob Arum. Man, I gotta say, the top rank must be getting a lot of money from ESPN with their contract to fund all these fights without putting it on pay per view. Top rank rarely puts things on pay per view these days. They either put it on ESPN, regular ESPN, or on ESPN Plus. The recent pay per views that they've had was when Tyson Fury fought, when Terrence Crawford fought. But yeah, unlike PBC these days, where pretty much every event on Fox for PBC was a pay per view. Like I think they had like almost like 5 or 6. I think they had more. I think 7 pay per views. I think this whole year, almost every single month. But anyway, Bob Arum said some pretty interesting stuff in this article. If you read the article, I'll read it what he said. He spoke with boxingscene.com. It reads, and I quote, it reads, Loma wants this fight next. Agis Klimas, Lomachenko's manager, wants the fight next. Bill Haney wants to do the fight next. And then he went on to say, my hope is to do a few fights on pay-per-view to do as few fights on pay-per-view as possible, because I really believe that putting these fights on pay-per-view is not a wise thing to do. Now, other people might find difficulty in this. It's not a wise thing to do because people aren't buying the pay-per-views, and it costs a lot of money to do it. Even if the fighters don't take guarantees, they hate you afterwards because they haven't made money. I think that's the problem Heyman is running into. I think Heyman just, I don't know, man. Lately, Al Heyman has just been putting too many events on pay-per-view. But anyway, he went on to say, and I quote, it reads, piracy has an adverse effect surely on pay-per-view, but I think, at least from what the cable companies and satellite providers tells us, that since the pandemic, people don't want crowds in their house. They don't want to do big parties with 25 or 30 people. Oh my goodness, bro. The puppy's fart is just so bad. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, you guys. If you guys don't know, we have a puppy. She's underneath me, and it's just, oh my goodness, it's just so bad. I'm trying to read here, and I just can't help it. It's just, oh my goodness. Why you guys? Yeah, my in-laws also dropped off their dogs, so we have 2 dogs here in the house right now, and they're both underneath my desk. And I'm not sure, maybe both of them farted at the same time because it's just so bad, man. The smell is just, oh my goodness. I apologize, you guys. Oh my gosh. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, people don't want crowds in their house. They wanna do big. They don't want to do big parties with 25 or 30 people. All right, let me pause there real quick. I still do that. During the pandemic, I invite people to come over, and people. We watch fights. I buy the pay-per-views, and I still do it. I don't know, because I'm a big boxing fan. Maybe to the casual fans, I guess, maybe not so much. But anyway, yeah, he went on to say, before the pandemic, people used to use these pay-per-view events to entertain, and if they had even 20 people in their house to watch pay-per-view, they wouldn't think about pirating the signal because they wouldn't wanna be embarrassed if it went down. So they were willing to put up the money for the pay-per-view. Particularly with the Hispanics, that's the way they entertain. And in many cases, they all pitch in for food and for the cost of the pay-per-view. That is true. Well, for me, in my case, with Manny Pacquiao, as a Filipino, Manny Pacquiao was the fights that we all gather around and watch. Obviously, Manny Pacquiao has since retired. He retired last year after losing to uh, um, Jordanis Ugas. I'm blanking on his name. And he's actually fighting next month in an exhibition in Korea, if you guys didn't know. But I can relate here. More in my case, it's because Manny Pacquiao has retired, not necessarily because, of the pandemic. I still watch fights, and we still, whenever there's a big fight, we still gather around, mainly with my cousins who are more interested in boxing than the older folks. But anyway, he went on to say, but since the pandemic, people are reluctant to have large numbers of people congregate in their homes, and that's what really killed the business. Because you can't think you can charge $70 for a guy who's sitting at home to watch it. That doesn't make any economic sense for anybody. Even if it's $80, it's nothing if you have 20 people. So until we figure out how you present these events, not on a traditional pay-per-view platform, but some other way, we're always gonna fail. Yeah, $80, bruh. $80 is just too much. Yeah, if you're that's why over the years, even before the pandemic, over the past how many years I've been making YouTube videos. In my opinion, buying pay-per-view events and watching it by yourself is not worth it. I know a lot of people do it. I've been told by a lot of you guys that you do watch events by yourself. You do pay this and that to watch events by yourself. But I'm gonna be honest, man, it's not really worth it unless you have like a few friends over. Then yeah, I think it would be entertaining, and you guys can talk while watching and all that. But paying $80 to watch an event by yourself, it really isn't worth it. It's not worth it. Um, but that's just what I think. A lot of people don't want to go through the problems of streaming it through some shady ass website with stuff popping up, and shady websites popping up out of your screen. And a lot of people are not that tech savvy too. But it's a problem with the sport of boxing these days. You need to have a big name in order to sell. Even Canelo wasn't able to sell a million plus when he fought on the traditional pay-per-view. The Zone was really proud to announce those numbers that they sold over a million pay-per-views, but that's around the world. That includes like 6, 7 different countries, and half of that pay-per-view buys. I think it was less than half of those pay-per-view buys came from the USA when he fought Triple G, if I remember correctly. When Triple G and Canelo fought the first 2 times, those sold easily 1 million, more than 1 million pay-per-views back in the traditional pay-per-view days when HBO did the pay-per-view. But yeah, these days it's just easily accessible to watch things on pay-per-view. I don't mind this fight being on ESPN. Heck, I'd be happy if it was on regular ESPN. Save myself a lot of money when Haney and if and when Haney Lomachenko fight. If they put it on ESPN Plus, I think that would be even. I'm okay with that as well because I have ESPN Plus. But yeah, pay-per-view would definitely be a fight. It would definitely be a $75 event if it does happen on pay-per-view. But hopefully Bob Arum sticks to his word and makes this fight free for everybody to watch on regular ESPN. It could easily do 1.5 million views watching, averagely in my opinion. But we'll see. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for listening and watching. And like always, have a great day. Alright, thanks.